How's it going, people? Slabby here, and this is your nice little update video. So yesterday was Plague's End that came out. The quest guide for that is already up, so if you need it, it is on the channel. Just check the recent videos. But today is catching up with some of the stuff that did happen yesterday, such as the patch notes. They came out yesterday, which no one was actually mentioned. Nothing was said about it on the front page, so it's a good job I checked. On top of that, you've got the character name cleanup. I was asked to cover these, and I was going to do them anyway, but either way. The first one was names from A to C, and you can see these in here. It's simple enough. You literally go to Runescape forums, recent game updates, and literally at the top is stickied, is character name cleanup, and you get to this page. So there's no need for me to give you the quick code, it's simple to find. And either way, you just click on these character names A, B or C, and they'll open you up with an Excel file. And you just pop it open, and you can have a look at all of the names that are available. Now, just to show you, this is the A list, and funnily enough, I've got Excel, I think it's 2010, so it's an old version either way. But, trying to open up this file, you can't actually see all of the names. The names, as you can see, a lot of it is just random fucking jargon from botters and stuff. Because there's no way, I very doubt it, that people would just name the character A and then bajillion and 3. So, yeah, there's a lot of names. And the problem with it is, I don't know if it's just this Excel version or if there's a way to do it and I just don't know about it, but it only goes up to AL. So we're missing like half of the names here. And the reason is, this Excel apparently can't exceed 1,048,576 rows. So yeah, I'm not sure how to split it so I can actually get all the names for you. But either way, that is how you find out all of the names that have actually been cleaned up. All of these names are now available for you to use, pretty much. So yeah, you can do the same with all of them. That's for A, B and C, so you can check all those out. They've been released quite a while ago now. But into the next news is character names beginning with D to H. They will be released tomorrow at 1 PM British Summer Time, which is GMT +1. So names beginning with D or E or F or G or H, they will be coming out tomorrow. So if your desired name is part of that lot, then there we go. So, another thing worth mentioning is when they first released the A to C names, they had a lot of server problems. People were having massive problems trying to switch the names around and make a new character, that kind of thing. Now it's kind of obvious why that is. I mean, like, they just released, well, that was about half a list of A. So there's probably about 2 million A names, and then I dare say probably the same for B and C. The problem with it was that everyone was trying to change their name at once and the servers were going absolutely bonkers. So to try and amend this, to try and fix it for people, because people were refreshing the page constantly over and over because it wasn't working, which put even more strain on the servers, which is why it took even longer than it should do. To try and fix that, what they're going to do is for the first 24 hours after these names have been released, players who want to change the name will require a minimum total level of 1,000 to do so. So this will allow players who've invested time in the game to actually grab the name they want before newer accounts. Additionally, it will slow down, at least a little bit, the amount of people that are trying to change their name. So hopefully this time around, you won't have to wait around for like a day to try and get the name you want. So there we go, there is that. So this is the second batch of all the names, it's D to H, so if you're interested, that is coming tomorrow. Now, the only other thing worthy of mention at this point in time is the patch notes from yesterday. There's a few of them, and I dare say there may be some more patch notes depending on if they need to fix anything in the quest and that kind of thing. But yeah, we'll find out. Either way, let's get started then. So, patch notes from yesterday. Graphical wise, the member upsell pop-up no longer appears to members on play-to-play worlds when clicking on challenges. Some graphical issues with the Aviansi override have been fixed. The Ice Asylum crystal no longer vanishes as doors are opened in Daemonheim. Skills and minigames. Balloons no longer appear outside the courtroom after winning a court case. The twirl at the crossroads North Rimington clue score has been fixed. The text for smithing an Iron Smith's chest plate has been fixed. Some text on the Void Knight Lander Squires referencing out-of-date information has been reworked. A text alignment issue in the description of a smuggling job in Player Reports has been corrected. The ship setup screen in Player Reports now has a tick box to hide ship parts that are no longer relevant. The resource icons on the ship interface of Player Reports have been realigned. The background of the Voyage interface in player imports has been corrected. The Trader and Black Marketeer now deal in the new trade goods and resources. Curing diseased livids in Legacy no longer wipes the magic abilities tab until logout. The Adventurer's log no longer displays the wrong amount of coins won from Treasure Hunter. So quests and achievement fixes. The required combat level of NPCs to kill for the Mark II Combat Daily Challenge has been corrected. Moving on to the miscellaneous, there's quite a few of these. The chance for a monster to roll on the super rare section of the rare drop table has been reduced. This impacts low level monsters the most. High level monsters will see little difference. The Force Walk areas located around the level 30 divination spot south of Seer's Village have been removed. Players can no longer place a Totem of Wisdom with the Enlightenment aura active. The Greater Runic Staff now work correctly with the Make Leather spell. Players can no longer talk to other people's spider pets. I didn't even know that was a thing. Players may now use alchemy spells in the Pit and the Cradle after completing Fate of the Gods. Players are now able to light fires inside the clan camp. Lighting fires in the clan camp will no longer remove the planks on the ground. The Engram matter used in Majara Memories may now be charged with Elder Memories. The RuneScape wiki link from the lobby has been corrected. The Friends Chat and Clan Chat tab headers will now flash more vibrantly in the lobby when the chat messages are waiting for players to be read. Text entered into the private messaging text box in the lobby Friends tab will now fill the full amount of space available within the text box. Options from a previous item on an action bar slot no longer remain on a new object when switched on the action bar. What? Options from a previous item on an action bar slot no longer remain on a new object when switched. I don't know. PvP loot will now no longer appear to all players if both players die. One dying due to Wrath or Retribution. Morrigan's Javelin special attack will now give a 20% damage boost in PvE situations. Fixed an issue where ice strike worms could not be damaged under certain circumstances. Pets can now scavenge in the Living Rock caverns. Names within the Friends Chat setup interface will no longer occasionally be displayed as their rank. Anticipation no longer causes channeled abilities to be interrupted. Moving on to the old ninja fixes. Players can now select the respawn rate of Instance God Wars dungeon bosses. That's always nice. Players can now fill Ogre Bellows from the object when next to a swamp. Swamp Toads now have a bloat option, and there is now a warning before picking white lilies from a farming patch. Players can now see their current produce points on a new overlay in Players can now see their current produce points on the new overlay in Livid Farm. Completion counts are now tracked for each difficulty of Treasure Trail and will display upon completion of a trail. And last but not least, we have engine fixes. So a flip and mirror option has been added to the Twitch webcam options. There should now be fewer instances of being kicked to the login screen when attempting to switch worlds. A fix has been applied for how some older graphics cards were handling graphics, such as Bloom. So, I suppose there we go. So older graphics cards might be able to handle Bloom a bit better. Who knows. Either way, that is the patch notes for today, also the character name cleanup, and I think that's pretty much all. Don't think there's been anything else. There is this. Basically, there's going to be a live stream about the Soul Reaper. If you don't remember what Soul Reaper is, it's kind of an addition they're going to be adding to Slayer, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Instead of getting Slayer tasks to kill just random mob A or B, you'll get Slayer tasks to kill bosses. And you'll gain special benefits from it because you are doing the Soul Reaper, which is basically just Slayer boss wise. So yeah, there is that. So they're going to be live streaming that. That's at 4 PM GMT +1 tomorrow. So yeah, you can keep an eye on that. That's roughly around the same time-ish, so the character names are going to be clean, so give you something to do. And last but not least, we have the Clan Month Q&A live stream. That's going to be at 4 PM GMT +1 on the 15th. So that'll be Friday. So there we go. Those are the things coming up. That is what's coming out this week. So tomorrow I should hopefully have another RuneScape lore. I'll carry on where I left off. I'll cover the first age again in kind of style to the last one. So if you're interested in that, then that'll be there for you. So yeah, with that said, I think that's everything. So until next time, people, I will catch you all later. Have a good one.